Did I ever tell you how I lost my faith, Padre? It was long before we reached this battlefield, long in distance and in years. It was back in Sunday school. We had this Sunday school teacher, Miss Strickland, face like a bag of spanners. Now there's a woman who missed her true vocation. She'd have been a sergeant major over here. It's true, we were an unruly bunch of kids. Well, we were kids. But she obviously felt obliged to minister to our moral welfare by telling us horror stories from the Old Testament every Sunday without fail. The last one I ever sat through was all about Job. How Job was God's most loving and faithful servant. So God and the devil had this bet to see how much misery Job could take before he stopped loving God. God held back, and the devil did his worst. Over the course of one day, Job was to learn that all his livestock, his servants, and his 10 children had been killed, either by natural catastrophe or murder. Oh, and just so that he couldn't grieve in comfort, the devil afflicted him with horrible skin sores so that he's tormented both without and within. All he's got for comfort, then, is a nagging wife who berates him and encourages him to give up and die, and 3 friends who advise him that he must have brought the misery upon himself through some unspecified and non-existent sin. And throughout all this, God never raised a finger, because it was a test, see? So, finally, Job was left sitting on this steaming pile of excrement that was his former life, scratching the open sores that cover his body with bits of broken pot to try to get some relief from the constant itching, and crying out to God because he couldn't understand. He couldn't understand why he'd let all this pain and misery befall him. Because he loved him. Never stopped loving him. See? Despite everything. And it was at that point I shot to my feet, right there in Sunday school class, so fast my chair toppled over behind me with a clatter. The room fell silent. Miss Strickland clamped her lips together. Her face turned white as a sheet, and with the blood pulsing in my ears, I looked her square in the face and I said, "You know what, Miss Strickland? Sod this. If that's what it's all about, if it's all a chuffing test, I want none of it." You should have seen her face, went from white to purple and back again. What can I say, Padre? Out of the mouths of babes? Aye, out of the mouths of babes.